Hey everybody, welcome. It's episode 225 of Is This Thing Working? Here we are live tonight, man. Coming live to you tonight on Wednesday night. The very first day of being able to say that we have the 47th President-elect Donald J. Trump. Well done, people of the country. Well done, man.
Hi, how is everybody tonight?
Hey, Denise, how's it going?
You feel a little bit freer?
Man,
I feel a little bit freer.
I do.
I don't know why. Just, seeing that sweep, it's almost, this huge relief.
Yep.
It's like just knocked off our shoulders.
Just maybe 7-8 minutes ago, we've seen a text from Laura Loomer or a tweet from Laura Loomer that Trump has won Nevada too.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, they should have called it hours ago.
I know. It's been hanging out there pink colored on the map forever.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
For some reason, they did not want that. No, we're still out. We're still watching Senate races.
Yep.
Kari Lakes is really, really in.
Yep.
Like, people are saying that they're cheating already in that one. And, that's Maricopa County.
Yeah.
And they did this to her for the governorship when she was trying to run for governor.
Yes, they did.
And now all of a sudden they're doing this again. Because they don't want her in the Senate.
But didn't they have issues during the primaries too out there?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're full of issues out there. Man, but everybody, welcome to the show tonight. We have got a lot to cover, but really we're just going to, let you know what's going on out there. What the narrative is, and President Trump won, of course, and there's a lot of backlash that's going on. It's gonna actually come to a crescendo eventually. People are mad. They're angry. I kind of am starting to feel a little anger in the air on that side. Kind of like what we've been doing for 4 years.
They ought to feel like. Yeah, they ought to feel like go away and shut up, leave us alone. This is our country. We don't, you know what I mean?
Yes. And yes, that's this is our country.
And the people spoke. This time, man.
It was the people.
We're tired of the bullshit, and we're tired of the last 4 years, man. We're tired of the economy the way it is. We're tired of that wide open border.
Yes, and by the way, the mass deportation thing, it's real.
Yep.
You voted for this, folks. Think about that. Wrap your mind around that. You voted for mass deportation. So do not let the left use the emotion of you're going to split up families. And that's what they have done for years. That's what they did when you were children. They played these movies and talked about dreamers and you didn't know all this was going on. You didn't understand, that it was a psyop to get you to be okay with illegal immigration.
Right.
They were conditioning you from the very beginning to be okay with it.
Under the guise of some kind of citizenship when you're not really following what the Constitution requires.
That's right.
Yeah. So
and that's why we have for years stopped the dreamers from being totally illegal. Legal citizens.
Yeah.
They've tried amnesty. That's it. Mass amnesty of them for years.
Yeah.
Obama did. But as you can see, the Democrats don't really care about you.
Well, the government doesn't.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
When I say the Democrats, I say the government because that's what they are. The government is Democrat. They've taken over the Democrat Party, and that's sad.
Yeah, the socialists
have. The socialists, they really have. But before we get started with the show, we would like to thank our sponsor tonight for supporting us, cornbreadhemp.com.
Yep. Hey, you ever feel like you need a little extra support to unwind? Cornbread Hemp is here for you. They offer full-spectrum CBD products that are USDA certified organic, and they're crafted to help you find your calm naturally. Cornbread Hemp uses only the highest quality Hemp grown right here in the USA with products made from the flower only to give you the best of what CBD has to offer. No stems, no leaves, just pure potent goodness. From their best-selling CBD oils to their gummies and their lotions, Cornbread Hemp has something for everyone looking to de-stress and to recharge. Plus, all their products are lab-tested for purity and transparency, so you know you're getting exactly what's on the label. If you're ready to add a little calm to your day, man, check out Cornbread Hemp and feel the difference for yourself. Your body and your mind deserve it. And if you will, go to www.cornbreadhemp.com and use the promo code ITTW. You will save 30% on your initial purchase. Remember, that promo code is ITTW. Thank you.
Yes.
Hey,
check me out. There you go. And click that link below. I always post them in the show notes. You can find all of this information in the show notes. And before we start this show, we want to state that these are our opinions and our assertions, mine and James's only. So if you like our show and our opinions, please share it with all your friends. We surely do appreciate that.
Yep. And hey, it's like I always say too, listen to our show, and if you don't like our opinions and our assertions, you just go ahead and share the show anyway and tell your friends about us, man. I'm telling you, because we're not going to back off from what we have to say.
No, because we are here till the end.
Yeah.
And beyond, because there is always something going on in the politics world.
You know
and
it.
So we want to bring you the narrative. But make sure you follow Is This Thing Working on all platforms. We go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Getter and Rumble. And you can catch our podcast on YouTube, Apple, Spotify.
Or
so
anywhere
check,
you listen
or anywhere
to
you
your
listen.
podcast.
You sure can. And it's a really easy to listen as you're going down the road, going to work in the mornings. Just turn us on, man.
Yeah.
You know, we really do appreciate the support.
Yep.
But I tell you what's coming.
What's that?
What's coming to Texas, supposedly, or maybe even Louisiana, or maybe even Mississippi.
What's that?
Or maybe even Florida.
What's that?
A hurricane.
Come on now.
Yes. A rare November hurricane is barreling toward the U.S. and could hit as early as this weekend. Sorry about that, guys. They named the storm Rafael. It was upgraded to a Category 2 hurricane today and could make landfall anywhere from the Texas coast to the Florida panhandle. They have no idea where exactly it's going to land yet.
Yeah. Well, look, the only thing that I've really paid attention to, I think 2 days ago they were talking about it, and they said that it would maybe break up because of the cooler waters now as compared to it being
right. And I had heard that it could break up, like you're saying, and just become a tropical storm,
which will be bad enough. It'll bring a lot of rain and a lot of wind anyway, and a lot of
yes, it will. Anyway, it'll affect the coast, so y'all be careful out there. And it says down here too that they are advising to secure loose outdoor objects due to strong winds and flooding. That's all they're advising at this time. So we'll let you know, and we'll keep you advised about what's going on with that. But there is so much going on after the election. And so we have President Trump's speech last night. So we're going to play that for you today.
Yeah, some of the remarks from it.
Some of the remarks from it. Here you go. Let's listen to what he has to say. It was great.
Maybe.
Maybe. There we go.
Incredible movement. This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country, and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this
know.
crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so proud to be a part, everybody. So proud.
But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
That's it.
And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
That's it, the golden age of America. Yeah, that was his wonderful speech about, I don't know, midnight our time last night.
Yeah.
I think it went all the way to 2 a.m.
Right.
in a lot of places. And then they were up. The man, his communications director was on Fox News at 5:30 this morning.
Wow.
You know, so
Yeah,
I
so
mean, they did
nobody
not
slept.
sleep
Nobody
at
slept.
all.
No, can't blame them either. Hey, would you play a little bit more of that? There was something important here. Check
Sure.
this out. It really struck me. I like this. Uh-oh. With us, that
There we
might be
go. We got
asking
a
too
buffer.
much. Oh,
Uh-oh.
no. Here we go.
There it goes.
Yeah, I had to rebuffer.
I don't know why it's not playing.
It's being a pain in the ass is what it's been.
Yeah, it's
come
not.
on.
It's not going to buffer me.
Well, hell.
I'm sorry. Do you remember what it was?
No, what he said was talking about promises being made and promises being kept. I love that, man. I was like, yes, that's exactly right.
Well, you know what that means. That means that everything that he's here. Let's
This
listen.
will truly be the golden age of America.
Yeah, it's about
what
where
have to
it's
have.
about where it starts. Check this out.
This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places.
That's
Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin.
And then add Michigan.
We are
Yes.
now winning
And Nevada.
in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes. But it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great.
Yes.
Very proud of that.
That is very great.
This wasn't a... Wait.
Thank you.
No, this wasn't the same one. I don't know where I found that other than then. Ain't no telling. But that's what he talked about that too in his speech last night. Was promises made and promises kept.
Yes.
You know, and he did.
His speech was pretty long. You know, he's long-winded. And we even found a long one. But we did have a smaller one up here earlier, and it did say that promises made, promises kept, and he's done that this whole time.
And he will this time too.
He will this time, and there is a lot. Now, I know the Trump campaign has come out, you know, during the campaign saying that Project 2025 has nothing to do with President Trump, and he's correct. He has not done anything about it. But Project 2025 is really just Trump 47.
I've said that from the start that it mirrored.
It mirrors
It mirrors it, man.
Trump 47.
And
the Democrats made it out to be like this big boogeyman and lied about it and took little passages here or there and redid their you know what they always do. They always edit everything.
Yeah.
They'll even edit a word. But yesterday, here is the map. So we have this map. We got live results, from Microsoft here. They just called Nevada, which should have been called already because look at the difference.
Yeah.
So it should have already been called.
Yeah, it's 5-point difference there.
Yes. And then we're watching the House races and the Senate races. Then we have 52, which is very good. You notice they don't have all the Democrats up there yet. They're still being, they still have a lot of something going on with them. Hey, man, that's, that kind of looks a little weird.
If you refresh this page, would it mess anything up? Refresh the page. See if we can get it to get a different one. No, it's the same numbers.
Yeah, they haven't called it, I guess. They haven't changed it here.
Right. But see, that was the issue I was having last night with Google, man, and every time they were way behind.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're not going to give you their real numbers right away. They hate it. They hate it a whole bunch because Google really.
I think New York Times did the best with theirs
last night. I have to say we're not a New York Times people,
but they did.
They were fair and upstanding about it, and did the right thing. The decision desk, they. I don't know what was going on with them, but they were calling things real fast.
Virginia was one,
Virginia, but she still won Virginia, but I don't know how close. Let's look. Wow.
By 5?
Yeah, she won by 5.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy. But yeah, she won all these. But you see that the country is red.
She just won the elites up there in the northeastern part.
Look at that.
The northeast elites.
And all of these little bitty boroughs and stuff, little bitty states, Washington, D.C. and Hawaii. So anyway, that's the map. But what's so different about the map than 2020?
The election totals.
Correct. Election totals. Correct. So what really happened in 2020? This BAU here, I'm going to give him credit for this on X. He said, what really happened in 2020? How did the Democrats have 20 million more votes than average? And where did these votes go in 2024? 20 million votes have disappeared. This is crazy. And for our podcast audience, we have some charts that we're looking at right now, and it shows the difference in the amount of votes. U.S. presidential election popular vote, Democrats versus Republicans in millions. And in 2020, look at this. This is the average.
Yeah, 65 million.
Yes.
Was an average, and that was the 3 terms of the
Democrats.
Yeah.
And
2012, 2016, 20, and then this year.
The same amount.
Except for 2020.
Yes.
When they doubled that margin.
They doubled it.
Yeah.
Yeah, how could they scan twice? That's what they did.
Yeah.
They scanned ballots twice.
Yeah.
And then a lot of in Georgia, that happened. That's been proven.
Right.
And then the presidential results in 2020. Biden won 306 over Trump's 232.
Look at the map. Let's see what's so much different about it. Let's look. Really. Oh, you can't because you can't scroll down to it.
Yeah, I can't. I don't think I can scroll down.
No, that would be amazing if you could, but you
can't. But these are red down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these are the ones he won.
Yeah.
Which the blue wall,
and Michigan, yeah.
the blue wall.
Yeah.
All of these. he won.
Yep.
Which he really didn't in 2020. These in Nevada is one of them. In Arizona is another one. They took all of the swing states and they double everything. It's what it looks like to me. It's amazing the difference. I really, really hope that that somebody investigates this now. Now that he has won, he has said on the campaign trail that one of his biggest issues is election integrity.
Yeah.
So maybe they will get, you know what they do? They get committees.
Right.
And they investigate. And they write strong worded letters and, you know.
And they drag it out for 4 years and campaign on it. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this, though.
What's that?
What do you think it's going to be like when they come back?
What do I think like?
Because they'll be back. Was it next week they'll come back?
Yep.
You know, and that's the lame duck time before he actually takes office. And before all the new people come and the other people that lost. And I bet that's a tense
It's a transition period. That's about all
months.
it is, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I wonder if some of them won't come back.
You mean like staffers and stuff?
Well, I'm talking about the people that didn't didn't win. A lot of people this time lost.
Yeah.
You know, they were incumbents.
Well, yeah, they'll
several incumbents lost, and they still have to
they'll have to pack their shit,
serve
and go,
their
man.
term. You know, until the 3rd. I think it's the 3rd is when they
pack their shit and go. Hit the road,
bye.
Jack. Yeah,
hit the road, Jack. Because if it's a Democrat and you got kicked out, of course we got a Maga. If it's a Republican and you got kicked out for a Democrat, we didn't want you anyway.
Right.
I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
You know, because we didn't put enough money out there for you. There's several that are having really tough races right now. And so we do want them.
We
for
need
exactly
them, yeah.
Joe Kent in Washington. Very important to watch his race. Right. That Washington state takes forever to count anything.
Yeah.
You know, so we do have some important races that are still out there that we're watching. Yes, we are. But Kamala, where is she? I got her. There you go. Kamala came out today and gave a concession speech. So we're going to play a little bit of it. I have 53 seconds of it.
Which is enough.
It is.
Yeah.
It is enough.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. Listen to her. Let's give her the respect.
She deserves zero respect from me. And she will get zero respect from me. Yeah.
No wonder.
So let me say, my heart is full today. My heart is full today.
Of wine.
Full of gratitude for the trust
and liquor.
You have placed in me. Full of love for our country. And full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up, and as long as we keep fighting.
Okay, listen to that rhetoric.
I know. Didn't it sound like she kind of did a like she could have started crying?
Well,
that would be hard for me. I will say it would be hard for me to stand there and not.
Yeah, but you're not a line Marxist
I'm not.
that, you know.
So she really you don't think it was just a
man
a play.
Look, all of that it was just a play, man. She's fake as she can be. I mean, really, she is, man.
I know.
Yeah, and she was the worst possible candidate they could have put out there, but we understand why she's out there too. You know.
Yes. You know, they threw her to the wolves. They really did. After Joe Biden, You know, she was the only choice.
Yeah.
She probably went in there and says, "You're going to pick me or nobody." And
what would you do in that position, man?
I would do the same.
I
would say, "Hey, you got nobody else but me."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Right.
You know, I respect the fact that she stood up, and even though I think just by watching this video, she's wearing this dark brown outfit. Women care about your outfit.
I guess,
care
man. Yeah. Well,
about, Why didn't she ever do a little color in it?
Because she's a dark person, man.
Women look at color, at the way you dress. I mean,
well, sure, your clothes,
if you're going to be joyful, dress joyful.
Well, I
you understand
your
what I'm
clothes
saying?
may set the tone for
and I totally believe that.
things.
And I could not get into her at all ever because she was so bland.
Maybe it was the background. Maybe it blended into the background.
She's just bland to me. She all looks the same. Like, I don't know if she does that to make it seem like she's like more of a man or in a man's world, or you know what I'm saying?
Trying to project strength, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I wondered.
Yeah.
I have wondered about that this whole time because, we had Hillary running for president, and we had Haley,
Nikki,
Nikki Haley and Tulsi Gabbard ran for president. I'm sorry. And every one of them dressed in bright, colorful colors.
Right.
All the time. And so I wonder why she didn't. Even Hillary Clinton did.
Yeah.
She always dressed, colorful.
Yeah. Well, I've seen her in reds and blues, like blazers, though.
Yes.
Always blazers,
and pants.
And pants. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but that was just the thing I noticed. And that's the end of Kamala Harris. And we probably won't talk a whole lot more about her because it'll be the Democrats after
Trump. That's about all I could think of to talk about her anyway, man.
I know he's sitting over there looking at me like, what?
Yeah.
Where you going with this clothes thing? But we always tell you we have the signal.
Well, yeah.
And so what a part of the signal is today on War Room, which everyone needs to tune into War Room Monday through Saturday, 9 to 11 Central and 4 to 6 Central here. And you can find them on the Roku channel. Am I saying that right? Roku channel under RAV.
Right, under Real America's Voice.
Real America's Voice. And they have the signal too. But I want to play a video here of Natalie Winters and Steve Bannon telling you what they're planning. And this is signal, folks. And so we need to not get too far into, making fun and not just paying attention to what's going on.
But making fun of them's a whole lot more fun.
And we're going to do that some more.
Let's do it.
But we're going to do the signal first and get that out of the way. Here you go.
Maybe.
My videos aren't liking to play today. Here it goes.
The Color Revolution guys, and we want to tee up the audience, have been noticeably quiet over the last 24, 48 hours. That means, listen, folks, like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a strategy until they get punched in the mouth. You punch them in the mouth. They weren't expecting this. They weren't expecting the broad-based coalition. They weren't expecting
they weren't.
The 312. They weren't expecting the popular vote. So not that it'll give us a mandate, but they're on their back foot right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a good silence in the sense that they're conspiring, they're plotting. I know we always say it's the primal scream of a dying regime, though maybe after that clip we just played, it's the primal cackle of a dying regime, and good riddance, and thank God for that. But yeah, Norm Eisen, Mark Elias, people who've never found an issue they don't want to tweet about, grift off of, they have been radio silent. But I want to sort of broaden this out because it's not that the so-called resistance, that was of course the 2016 term, has gone to sleep. I want to read some headlines just to sort of get a sense of the news cycle right now. Leading in the Washington Post's opinion section, the second resistance to Trump must start right now. Another a story from Fast Company. Trump resistance begins with over 100 progressive groups gathering Thursday. So these are all the Soros-funded, whether it's the labor types.
And this is the one that Reek, and the cabinet secretary under Clinton, is pushing on
The Guardian.
In The Guardian. Tell us about that, because they're having a gathering of the tribes right at the box. That's on Friday, correct?
Well, and it's quite interesting because they put the caveat, a peaceful but determined resistance, because they know for 4 years they were laying the groundwork as to how pushing back against a president. But I do think where we really have them on the back foot particularly comes to the fact that even if they thought Trump could eke out a victory, they certainly didn't think he would win the popular vote.
Exactly.
Right? And I think so much
that
of their,
killed their narrative last night.
Right? So
Yes,
much of their resistance narrative hinges on this concept, right, that we need a national popular vote, that the Electoral College is a relic of the past.
There you go.
But they're particularly focused. They have the typical, jargon about workers' rights and all the economic issues and blah, blah, blah. But it's
Which they've never done anything about when they had the power in office. They don't ever worry
and Bernie
about
Sanders
workers.
said as much in his statement about the election, blasting Kamala Harris, saying this is what happens when Democrats ignore workers and workers' rights. But the issue that they're also really, really gassed up about is the mass deportations and immigration. And like we've always said and maintained on the show, we like our border bills opposed, protested, and sued on behalf of the ACLU, SPLC, ADL, all those wonderful groups. And that's why the bipartisan border bill, we don't like it here.
Can you get, let's play Caroline Levitt again. Caroline, and I love the fact she went on Maria Bartiromo's morning show and threw down hard. And this is my point when I talk to people behind the scenes and say, hey, look, you got to get on point on this mass deportations. And I was on the David Sachs. In fact, if our crack East Coast producer can pull David Sachs' show last night, his podcast, I was on there. And they asked me a series of questions, and they asked me at the end, they said, hey, this mass deportations thing, or this deportation, that's just something that, is like an idea, but it's not something that's going to. I said the afternoon of January 20th. And he says, oh, only the criminals in the insane asylums go. I said, no.
They're all criminals.
They're all criminals.
They're all criminals.
I didn't think of that. The 15 million.
You want to.
And they're going. And
yeah, they're all criminals, man.
There's the signal.
And that is where the narrative got screwed up, was that only the peaceful ones that are coming here to work or to do that or to do this.
That's what they've been putting out
true.
for a minute.
You might
60
be
minutes
peaceful,
is good at it.
but you're a peaceful criminal, because
You came over here knowing that you were breaking our laws.
Yeah, exactly.
And taking the taxpayers' money. That is against the law.
Exactly. Yes, that is exactly correct, man.
When we did not vote for that, and we just showed you a graph in 2020 that the American people did not vote for this.
Yeah.
You did not vote for mass immigration.
No.
You did not vote for it.
You didn't. Yeah, you did not vote for all of these people to come in and flood your towns and use up your resources and cause all of your supply chains to be, struggling and strained because of that. You didn't.
And prices going up.
You didn't vote for all these kids to come in there, and now instead of being 20 to 25 in a class, you've got 30 to 35, and you don't have money in your school system, man, because you're using it up. You didn't vote for that.
Nope, you did not vote for that. And so President Trump is going to do what he said he's going to do.
Which is fix those things.
That's right.
And get America back to going the way that it needs to be, in the direction
Following
that we
the
need
law.
it to be.
Following the law.
Yep.
America's laws. But, Biden was very good.
Let me tell you what, man. They cooed this guy because they said he was cognitively impaired.
Right.
And he couldn't do the duties of the president. And they're right with that. I agree with them there, but let me tell you something. Whoever was behind him coming out and doing these things is a genius, man. This was amazing. He has he has
And not just him,
not
but
just
Jill
him, but
Biden.
Jill's done it.
Jill came out
this is
and
so
read
awesome,
yesterday
man.
to vote.
Yes.
And she wrote in Biden.
Yes, and I got to keep going back to I called it, but man, I'm telling you, I couldn't have called it this good.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I do. It's
Joe
funny.
did everything except show up at the RNC, man.
I know.
Really, and give his own endorsement. I'm telling you, man.
We have this article from
yeah.
the Gateway Pundit. It says from the great Anthony Scott. The headline says Biden congratulates Trump and invites him to the White House.
Like he had never been. Yeah.
I know.
Hey, come home. Yeah. Yeah. It said President Joe Biden called President Trump to congratulate him on his monumental election victory. In the call, Biden congratulated Trump and he invited him to the White House to discuss the transition process. AP reported that Biden didn't specify a date when the two plan to meet, but did report that it will be in our near future. Biden also called Kamala to congratulate her on her failed campaign. That's crazy. That's hilarious, man. Yeah. Yes, that's hilarious on her failed campaign.
And this is per the Associated Press.
Yeah, the AP changed it.
Yeah, Biden plans to address the nation on the election results, which will have sharp implications for his legacy on Thursday. Biden also spoke with Vice President Harris to congratulate her on her campaign.
On her campaign, not her failed campaign, her campaign. That's hilarious, man. Yeah.
But what's really going to happen is, and there has been speculation with Biden when he wore the Trump hat during a 9/11 memorial event. You know, he really has been messy ever since they cooed him. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't either, man. I said that from the start, man. He should have jumped on Trump's side in a second, man.
Yeah, because y'all remember when CNN says they were just about to go live to Kamala's speech in Detroit when Biden appeared at the press briefing, clearly overshadowing her?
Yes. Yeah,
yes,
that's what I'm saying.
Funny.
When I called it, I thought, man, he's going to go and endorse Trump, and that would be the most awesome thing. But you know what? He was sly doing this, man, and
he was
worked.
sly.
It worked. I laughed every time, man.
But what I thought was cool, because one of the things that he mentioned is the transition.
Yeah.
So, of course, President Trump and his team will go to the White House for transition meetings and stuff like that, because now he will start getting national security advice and have advisors and be in on everything.
Right.
But do you think they will allow him to know what's really going on in the the world?
I believe he's surrounded himself now with the right people, and he's not going to go in there without those right people with him now. So I don't think that would work a whole lot. And plus, I also seen earlier today on X, I can't recall exactly, but Kamala mentioned the fact that she would do a peaceful transition, unlike what happened in 2020. So she had to throw that in there in the end. But she said that. But she did say that, yes, they are going to go through a peaceful transition. We'll see, because I don't believe them. Because let me tell you something. These aren't just Democrat people. You know, they're not just Democrat workers. They're not just they're communist revolutionaries, man. And just because we defeated them in an election last night and kept them from cheating and caught them at every turn that we could possibly catch them,
as much as we could,
in Georgia and everywhere else, yes, and in Virginia, and then the Supreme Court rule, you know, so we done all we could to win a fair and honest election, but that doesn't mean those people are going away, man. These people are not giving up. So
no,
you know, I heard
bit.
And there again, and I heard some other people, you know, and I read some other people's Twitter statements saying that, well, you know, hey, we've won the battle. We've won the battle because, you know, he was elected president, because Donald Trump was elected president, and that may be half true. We've won a battle, but we ain't won that war, because these people are not going to go away, man.
No, they're already planning. They're already planning things behind the scenes. We've already been hearing about it. Natalie and Steve Bannon told you, that things are going on and they're not going to be happy about it and they're going to scream about it. But we do have a statement by President and Mrs. Obama.
Yeah.
On the 2024 presidential election.
Yeah. Like anybody really cares what these two got to say. But here's their statement. Over the last few weeks and through Election Day, millions of Americans cast their votes, not just for president, but for leaders at every level. Now the results are in, and we want to congratulate President Trump and Senator Vance on their victory. He should have called him Vice President Vance because that's who he is. This is obviously not the outcome we had hoped for, given our profound disagreements with the Republican ticket on a whole host of issues. But living in a democracy is about recognizing that our point of view won't always win out and being willing to accept a peaceful transfer of power. Dude, why did you have a whole host of issues with the Republican ticket when you had a man that got 14 million votes in a legal primary the way that we've always done it, and then you just stole that man's votes?
Well, and another thing, if you remember back in 2016, they did not have a peaceful transfer of power. They immediately started impeaching him on day one. Yeah. They started President Trump's first 100 days that he got nothing accomplished. And this time, President Trump is going in there with his people.
Yeah.
He's not taking advice from rhinos, Fox News, Obama, or any of the former presidents who never one time stuck up for what was going on with President Trump.
Yeah.
Not one time.
And I'm going to close with just this little paragraph here at the end of his statement. If you want to see it, it's out there on Twitter. You can see it. But it says, in a country as big and diverse as ours, we won't always see eye to eye on everything, but progress requires us to extend good faith and grace, even to people with whom we deeply disagree. Well, I'm sorry, but the LGBTQ movement, all of the other different, the BLM movement, the Antifa movement, all of these things that you, Barack Obama, helped to promote and push through, you guys...
The books in school that you were forcing our children to read.
The DEI and the CRT. Yeah, you didn't extend good faith and grace with us. No, you did not. You demonized us and you called us garbage and you insulted us and you called us threats to a democracy, to your democracy. Dude, you have been that threat all along. He goes, this is how we've come this far, and it's how we'll keep building a country that is more fair and more just, more equal and more free. You never looked for any of those things in your leadership.
Never.
And neither would
There's
have
always
Kamala.
division.
And neither would have Kamala, because you know as well as I do, if Kamala had won, Kamala wouldn't have been calling the shots. This dude would have been.
Yes.
Like he has been
so
for
he
the
does
past
not
three
get
and a
his
half years.
fourth term.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Seriously,
well, look,
Kamala, every bit of it was Obama's talking points.
Yeah.
Nothing. Because Obama did that all the time. He just come out with word salads and talked about nothing. And then he was bullying the men.
Yeah.
People are tired of the bullying.
Yeah.
They're tired of it.
Yeah, and tired of him telling America how bad we are.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yes. And that we're bad people. What is it Hillary called us? Deplorables.
Joe called us garbage.
Yes. And President Trump, he was so funny. I think a lot of the reason why he won is because he became such a...
The things that we just listed is why people voted President Trump in this time. That is exactly why. Because in 20, he told people that this was going to be coming, and maybe people didn't believe him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But it came, and it's been fun to sit back and look at him and go, ha ha.
It has been.
You know what I mean? You people are idiots.
Every one of you are idiots. Everyone, like The View. I wanted to watch The View today, but I just cannot. I can't in any self-respect watch these people. You know, I feel like I
hateful,
get dumbed down
mean-ass,
every single
stupid
time.
women.
I mean,
Yeah.
and they're supposed to be educated, and they just sound. I don't even know, but
Here, let's
look at this. So the Vigilant Fox comes out today, and I love him because he'll do a thread, and you know he says, for everybody, he says the View hysterically melts down over Trump's landslide victory. Thank God people like this lost in a landslide.
Yes.
Take a moment to sit back and enjoy their spectacular defeat.
Yeah.
And we're taking a moment to enjoy it because they are crying like babies. And then he goes on to say, today's unforgettable episode of ABC's The View opened up with a teary-eyed Whoopi Goldberg and a miserable-looking Joy Behar admitting...
Joy Behar.
I'm sorry, Joy Behar admitting defeat. I get ahead of myself over here. So listen to this. This is just amazing to me. It's only 43 seconds.
What, should I go back to the play button again?
It will. There it goes.
So, how you feel? I'll start. Yeah, go ahead. My takeaway is that the system works. We live in a democracy. People spoke. This is what people wanted. I vehemently disagree with the decision that Americans made, but I feel very, very hopeful that we have a democratic system in this country. We should value it. We should love it. We should protest if the situation arises that we need to protest, which I'm sure it will. And I've been through this before with Nixon. It's been very difficult. But boy, oh boy, do we have a country if we can keep it.
Yeah.
We do have a country, and we spoke loud.
We spoke loud, and
we're gonna
they
keep
have
it.
no choice.
And we're
but
going to keep that country.
We are going to keep that country.
Yep.
And here we have another one. Let's see. This is political commentator Alyssa Farah Griffin. Now she's supposed to be Republican, but she voted for Kamala.
Yep. And describes Trump's massive, crushing victory as beyond Reagan. You bet it was, man.
Yeah, listen to her.
Actually didn't.
Moment to listen to the voters. And this, I have to say, I've always thought he could win. I thought in the final stretch she might eke it out. I didn't expect it to be this resounding, and I think there are some lessons from it. I think we forget about rural America. I think the working class feels left behind. They feel like the powerful, the elite only care about them and their power. And he spoke to them. We may not have liked his words, but they turned out for him. I mean, the map was, it was beyond Reagan what we saw last night. And I think we need to start listening more about the concerns of everyday Americans who feel like this system is failing.
When Reagan won.
It is a moment to listen to the vote.
You need to start listening to everyday American citizens who understand that the system has failed.
That's right.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
That one was pretty good. And then Sonny Hostin interjected with a complete meltdown, blaming cultural resentment for Trump's landslide victory.
And yeah.
Sorry, my videos are loading slowly.
Profoundly disturbed. I think if you look at the New York Times this morning, the headline was America makes a perilous choice. I think that in 2016, we didn't know what we would get from a Trump administration, but we know now. And we know now that he will have almost unfettered power. And so I worry.
He's the president.
Not about myself, actually. I don't worry about my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher. I worry about our elderly and their Social Security and their Medicare.
But why?
I worry about my children's future.
But why?
Especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less. civil
How?
rights than I had when he told me that. So again, I'm profoundly disturbed that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution did not prevent someone who participated in an insurrection from becoming president of the United States.
Of course,
I
they have
think
to put
that
that
going
in there,
forward,
didn't they?
the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off, because if you can be the president of the United States, then you should not be prevented from employment in this country. Because
He is
I
not a
remember
convicted
applying
felon.
for my jobs as a federal prosecutor, and there was a box for convicted felons.
Well,
and so
Okay.
that box
Oh,
better be taken.
I have to stop here.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, he is not a convicted felon. He has not gone to court
Look.
yet for them to say you're a convicted felon. It has not happened yet. They haven't done that yet because they know he is not a convicted felon. What they did to him was railroad him and that jury. And I'm telling you, this is going to have a bad blowback.
And then she injected identity politics back into it by saying, I was so hopeful that a mixed race woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country. And I think that it had nothing to do with policy. That's exactly right. And that's why the American people spoke up and said, enough of this bullshit, man. We're all suffering because of your stupid bullshit.
And guess what?
And
we're not racist.
Well, no, and I'm not worried.
But that is the same thing.
Yes.
She is saying
yes,
that we're all racist because we don't.
Well, I get that. Yeah.
You know?
I do.
And we're not. We're not racist.
Yeah. I get it.
And then we have Anna Navarro, who attended Kamala's election watch party last night, described the atmosphere as a very sad scene. Uh-oh. Here it comes.
I'm obviously very disappointed. I'm very sad. I was at the Kamala Harris headquarters yesterday in Washington, and it was a very sad scene. The mood turned immediately. I'm obviously very disappointed. I'm very sad.
Yeah,
the mood
turned quickly. Well, sure.
They cut the music off by about 9:30
I
last
know.
night.
They said that Kamala never showed up.
Really?
Yes.
Well, because she was drunk. She knew they weren't going to win.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe you're right. Well, I don't know either. But we're going to take a break for another sponsor. So listen to Coffee Brothers. Nope, it's coffeebros.com.
Looking for that perfect coffee to kickstart your day? Coffee Bros has you covered. Coffee Bros is all about responsibly sourced, fresh roasted coffee that packs a punch in every cup. Their blends are crafted with premium beans, roasted in a small batch to give you a smooth, flavorful experience like no other. And if you're into the details, man, Coffee Bros has it all. So whether you're into espresso, a cold brew, or just need a classic cup, Coffee Brothers has your next favorite blend. So grab yours today and taste the difference that passion makes.
Please click that link below. We appreciate you supporting our sponsors. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Coffee Brothers did us in, man. We had too much. And then we had, the NBC crowd. They, all cried all day. But one thing they did say, and this is very important, because all of the court cases that are out there against President Trump,
yeah,
they're going to end. Just like we were talking about, just like she said, he's a felon,
right,
and all that. Of course, that hasn't really been brought up yet,
right?
But listen to on MSNBC, Jack Smith and the DOJ are seeking to end cases against Donald Trump, citing long-standing policy regarding the prosecution of a sitting president. Yep, Johnny Maga, that's who we're getting information from, says they're terrified. I think this is very important. And we really need to pay attention to what they're going to do here.
It's not a surprise that these cases can't go forward when Donald Trump takes office. What's interesting here is that the DOJ is moving to end them even before he takes office, citing the long-standing DOJ policy that sitting presidents can't be prosecuted. And there was some thought that maybe Special Counsel Jack Smith was going to sprint through the finish line, was going to work up until the last day, force Trump to fire him, wait till a new attorney general was appointed. But that does not appear to be the thinking inside the department. The thinking is that these cases can't go forward. There's no reasonable prospect of getting to trial within the 3 months before Donald Trump takes office. These cases are mired in legal issues that would be appealed all the way to the Supreme Court had Donald Trump.
Yes, they would be, for the simple reason that Jack Smith is not legal.
He's an illegal prosecutor. And Jack Smith knows that Trump's going to fry him, too, over these things, man.
Yes.
You know, that's why he backed off. He's like, okay, man.
And Merrick Garland, too.
Yep.
You know, because he's been impeached.
Yep. Lisa
And
Monaco,
they haven't
too.
done anything about it.
Yep.
You know, what? You're always saying he's the one that needs to go to jail like Steve Bannon.
You bet. You
know,
bet. For
he did-
contempt
for
of Congress.
contempt of
'Cause
Congress.
he would not turn over the video.
You know, so they're all running a little scared right now. I really don't think that they thought that President Trump would get elected again. I seriously think they were surprised. Like, the American people really stood up.
But see, and that's the crazy thing is because their internal polling kept showing them to be, they kept talking about that both camps, how internal polling was what was really telling the story, and that they were already scared, man.
Well, it just goes to show you how much election interference went on.
Yeah.
And how that's what it was all about anyway.
Right.
I mean, they knew that they weren't never going to win anything, but they kept him busy. They kept him off the campaign trail. They blew so much of his money.
Right.
And took so much of his money. Like Letitia James.
Yeah.
You know, she's the one in New York that took all his money, closed all his businesses. I have an article here from the great Gateway pundit from Christina Lelia.
Yeah. And it says, breaking, Letitia James vows to continue to go after President Trump after he crushes Kamala in a landslide victory. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, she's
vows
not going
to
to stop.
continue to go after these. That's what I'm telling you about these people, man. They're not just Democrats. They're communist revolutionaries, and they're not going to stop until you defeat them.
Until they're gone. I mean, Fannie Willis got reelected last night.
Yes.
I mean, how does that happen?
I get it.
When she is a criminal.
I get it.
You know, even the cases in Georgia are not going to go forward.
And it said that the New York AG, Letitia James, said on Wednesday she vowed to continue to go after President Trump after he won. She was completely unhinged during her press conference. She goes, so here we are. We've studied their platforms. We've identified certain possibilities, fact patterns. We've created contingency plans, she said. So no matter what the next administration throws at us, we're ready. We're ready to respond to their attacks. What?
So in other words, when President Trump actually comes back with suing you for election interference, you already have a tax planned, because this is what is going to happen. The people are done with you, and it's time to get rid of her, folks. It's time to cancel her.
And listen to the rhetoric, the way that she put that out there. We're ready to respond to their attacks. What did Kamala say during her conceding speech? We got to keep fighting. Fighting for what?
Exactly.
There you go. That's exactly
They're still not going to stop.
They're not.
It is not going to happen. She goes on to say down here, we did not expect this result, but we are prepared to respond to this result. We are prepared to fight back once again. There's a word, fight.
Again.
You know, all of a sudden they're using President Trump's words. Fight, fight, fight.
But they didn't take a bullet to the ear.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly right. So we need to watch this lady here. And speaking of taking a bullet to the ear.
Yeah.
You know, we cannot let up on these people either. I mean, folks, People saw President Trump get shot.
Yeah.
They saw this attempted assassination. What do you think they were going to do? You think they did not? What? Oh, he just got scraped by some glass.
The point is it wasn't Thomas Crooks, and they hid that fact from us. Okay, it wasn't Thomas Crooks. He may have shot. Who knows if he's actually the one? But what I'm saying is there were bullets coming from other directions. There was the possibility of a second shooter, and ballistics and research have showed that. John Cullen is one that has been doing a lot of research and a lot of coverage on this. And he's got a beef with Bongino right now over this because Bongino claims that there's no evidence of a second shooter. There's probably there's been ballistics and there's been other things. There was a couple of videos that were put out by John Cullen, and like on this one here, this is Bongino saying that there's no evidence. I think, yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's just 10 seconds. See if it plays.
No, this one's it's a collage put together, and it's over 2 minutes, but we're only gonna play a small part.
Oh, this is just. Is this the whole video?
Mm-hmm.
Second shooter. There's no evidence of that.
I'm not really willing yet to, say wholeheartedly that I don't believe there's not a possibility for a second shooter. There's a guy named John Cullen, I believe. He put a video out that had some evidence that I think this task force should take a look at, and it showed the bullet traveling down the bleachers, and the trajectory and the angle of this bullet and the flight path, and it disturbing people's clothes, and one guy hits the deck and then it hitting the railing, and you see the puff of the railing. It was not in line at all with Crooks, who's over here. It was this way. So I'm not willing to go there yet and say, hey, I know for a fact it was Thomas Crooks who acted alone. But going back to Chip's point of I don't believe that the FBI is going to get to the bottom of this, and even if they did, I don't believe that they would give us the truth.
Notice that anytime the narrative isn't, the facts of some event don't fit their narrative, that they sweep it aside.
Right.
Las Vegas shooting. I mean, how often do they talk about that?
Zero.
Do they ever want to
Still
go
no
see
answers.
the truth on? Still no answers, right? The reason we're doing this forum is that 6 weeks ago Saturday, I think if I have my dates correct, 6 weeks ago Saturday, President Trump was shot. And we act like that didn't occur as a nation. That is extraordinary on its face.
They actually thought, and again, this is inside information coming from the source, they actually thought they were being engaged because they could hear the sonic crack of the rounds passing by them. And they actually thought they were being shot at, not Trump.
Right there. He said they heard the crack and they thought they were being engaged with. And then it goes to this video right here of this sniper, and when he hears those sonic cracks, he turns to the right.
Yeah, like he's trying to avoid a bullet.
Well, the one, yeah, and
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, this guy right here.
The first guy.
That guy
For
right
our podcast audience, there's a picture, and there's
of
two
the
guys,
snipers on the roof.
Snipers on the roof.
One has a tall tripod, and he is up on his knees. The one to the right-hand side of the picture is another sniper that is prone. He's laying on his belly with his tripod up there, okay? And what they're saying, and even what Eli Crane said, is that the trajectory and the ballistics show that that bullet came from a different direction than what they claim Crooks's bullet came from. And when you hear the crack of the shots, the sniper that is with the tall tripod that is on his knees immediately turns to the right, and he shoots toward the trees. Check this out, man. If it'll, yeah. There he is. Oh, so Just do that and we'll go forward. We'll skip forward to it. It was at like 1:45 when it gets to playing again. This is why we didn't live stream last night.
Was there a
y'all.
second shooter?
Yeah,
There's
we've
no
been having
evidence of
little
that.
issues with our
Okay, back up.
Aiming at the trees. If you look to our left,
Engaged because they could hear the sonic crack of the rounds passing by them. And they actually thought they were being shot at, not Trump.
Secret Service quickly erupted. You can see the snipers on the building behind the the podium.
He turned away from
aiming
Crooks.
at the trees. If you look to our left, there are trees in the distance, and that seems to be where the gunfire is coming from.
Was there a second shooter? There's no evidence of that.
Yes, Dan.
Yes, Dan.
Yes,
there is
Dan.
evidence.
There is evidence of a second shooter, man.
Yeah, and no one will. And poor John Cullen, he is doing everything.
He's fighting, tooth and nail with them. And
Tooth and
I
nail.
love it, man.
And Bongino comes out
and blocked him
and
over
blocked him over it.
Yeah, and then once he blocked him and Cullen found out he was blocked, this is kind of like gossip, but it's still funny, though, man. It's funny to me that Dan, I can't wrap my head around this dude, man, how he has such a following. But he goes, if I blocked you, it's because I think so little of your dumbass commentary that I've deemed it to be not worth even looking at. If you're upset about it, then it shows you've got the sads because you can't read my thoughts while I give zero fucks about even seeing yours. Until next time, losers. This is the problem I have with Bongino. He'll sit there and holler, well, there's no evidence of a second shooter. Bullshit, there isn't, man. What gives, Dan?
You know, me and you've had a couple of debates around this and everything, and I watch Dan Bongino, you know, all the time. I get a lot of news from him and a lot of advice a lot of times in the podcast spectrum because that's where he's at. But I will tell you, this disappoints me only on one level, is the fact that he couldn't be more grown up enough to message Cullen and say, hey,
what you got, man? Let
yeah,
me see
something.
It. Yeah.
You know, or hey, I just can't right now. I just don't believe you. You know, be honest, be honest, be real. Tell him. But there's a little passage here that we really need to pay attention to. It says, if you're upset about it, then it shows you've got the sads because you can't read my thoughts. And then he says, while I give zero fucks about even seeing yours. Bongino has thoughts about this. And he's telling you and anyone else out there, if you read between the lines, that it's not the time. That's what I think. That is my conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I don't like his the way
his approach whatsoever.
I think he could have been a grown up about it.
Yeah.
And he didn't need to block him.
Right.
At all. You know, John Cullen and him and Eli Crane all and Chip Roy all sat in a room and discussed all of this together. But then he comes out and says
there's no
evidence whatsoever.
Yeah, Dan, there is.
There is evidence,
yeah,
Dan.
I'm
sorry to say. And it does seem sketchy, just like John Cullen said. So who is the real loser if you're not going to listen to someone with real evidence? That is one of the things that drives conservatives crazy is you don't listen.
That's it.
You listen. Whether you agree or not, we listen. We're a team, and we figure it out. But if there's a reason why you can't listen, then you need to discuss it with John Cullen, who needs your help.
Yep. Is this thing working?
Rise up.